Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima and I'm here checking out Wanderjahr. I don't know why it's subtitled Try Again or Walk Away because I'm more than happy to walk away instead of trying again, but we'll get onto that very shortly. I'm basically going to be spending the next 10 to 15 minutes just saying how shit this game is. So if you hate those sorts of videos from me, then please walk away now. Don't complain in the comments because there are always those people who complain that I complain too much about games. In my defense, for some reason, we tend to get a lot of shit ones. Case in point, somehow the background music and the sound effects meters have gone off to the right of the actual meters. I have seen them go further away than this. And yes, I have an hour and a half of playtime. However, 45 minutes of that playtime is me trying to figure out how the fuck you're supposed to beat the first boss. But I do not give a shit. So as you can see, they were way off where the media should have allowed them to go for some reason. And you want to know where they start? Down here. Like, I know it doesn't sound so bad coming through the, speaker now, but when it's actually being played through the... let me try that again. I know it doesn't sound too bad being played through, like, the speakers on a computer or something, but on the actual Vita, this is so quiet that I had to turn it all the way up. The Vita's actual volume and these two volume slides just to hear anything, so... Let's just load my game up. There's only one save slot. It doesn't prompt you to load it or anything, so it'll just hop us straight right back into where I was before I just decided I'm done with this. Let's get this shitty video out. A fair bit of this music sounds familiar, and this sound effect sounds familiar too. Like, that sound effect is oh, I know what it is now. It's the Final Fantasy menu effect. Why is that in this game? I don't know. Anyway, you've got a menu of stuff you can do here. You can also press X on this woman to ask her for help. But Wanderjahr is not very helpful, really. Yeah, I honestly have no idea. So, the idea here is you have multiple party members, and they can all be leveled up individually. Unfortunately, the most annoying thing about this is that it requires an absolute ton of stars to level these guys up. So, if you want to be leveling up any of your party members, you'll have to go through the main stages again and again and again and again and again to get the stars that you need. And I really cannot be fucked. Notably, the level cap is also 6 at the moment, and all my characters are at level 5. So unless I actively have to get all my characters up to the maximum level in order to stand a chance, there's just no way to beat the boss that I'm currently on. But let's just save that for later. We have a shop that we can go to buy consumable items. So there's health, there's milk, soft drink, and just stuff that'll help you cure specific status effects and curing knockout. However, you can only carry a certain amount of these at any one time, and this is really the only useful thing you've got to spend money on. There are artifacts too, but you can only carry one of them at a time at this point, so I really don't see the method. You know, I'm gonna take this because there's no goddamn way that... It doesn't really help out anyway, but I'll take it and I'll apply it anyway because there's no goddamn way 30% less chance to have D-Shield activated will actually help me out in this boss fight, but goddamn it. Let's just equip it anyway. Yeah, there are artifacts that you can use for small status upgrades, not much, but they're there. You can pick what team members to take along. It looks like you're only limited to what team members or what order they're in. Actually, no, now that I think about it, there's only enough room for... You can take along the whole team, but I guess it lets you determine what's going to be on like what page or something. And you can also determine what 4 team members you're going to take into the fight at the very beginning. And I think I'll take along these 4, because why not? It doesn't really matter. To quickly demonstrate, quickly say what all these guys do, from the first 4, you got your physical attacker, your tank, your healer, your mage. Then down the bottom from left to right, the ones that are highlighted, you've got the status buffer, the status debuffer, the thief, and the researcher, who can research attacks and then get consumable items from those attacks. But I haven't been able to get him to work yet. So, yeah, I don't know. I've been through every level with that guy out once, and he hasn't managed to get anything done, and I don't know why that is. There is a world map where you can pick different levels to go to, and some levels do have secret levels that branch off of them. We'll just pick World 4. There's also a gallery, but the music changes here for some reason. That lets you see all the different monster types. You can see your trophies, which they call badges for some reason. Tutorial screens and story. And it's a core cell game, so the writing is not very good. And when they make mistakes a lot. Or at least really weird uses of English. Who knows? But yeah. There's a lot of text. No actual like story screens or anything like that. It's just a massive amount of text, and I don't know why. But anyway, let's get on to the actual battle system. This is definitely the worst part of the game. Alright, so here we go. This is the battle screen. The idea is that you can have 4 members of your team out at once, and these 4 members of your team can all do specific things. So, having 4 members of the team out to do specific things is very... Well, what's the word I'm looking for? You need to be as strategic as possible while you're doing this in order to keep all your team alive. However, due to the fact that the tank is arguably the most useful unit, you're always going to want to keep him out. You're always going to want to keep his HP up. So, use the fucking item. Thank you. You're always going to want to keep his HP up, so you're going to want to keep the medic out. And that leaves you with 2 slots, one of which has to be one of the attacker units, because if it's not, you won't be able to deal any damage. So, there really is, like, nothing that you can do except just have, like, a really, really preset sort of party composition. Like, you might be able to at some point, like, swap out... You can swap out party members for specific purposes. Brain, work with me here. So I just brought out the buffer to get rid of the debuffs that, the witches put on me. And then once that's done, I can swap back out to the medic. Except that I don't really need the medic out right now because they're doing stuff all damage to me. The earlier levels are actually really easy. And it's funny because this is only like 2 levels before the actual boss fight. And I'm getting fuck all experience as well. Up in the top left is my experience. There's stars, and there's also money by the gold coins there. As you can see, 2 experience for taking out that one monster. In order to finish the, in order to level up, I need 350 experience. Yeah. You also get money. But as I showed off before, except for buying those consumables that you can only carry so many of, they're not really that useful. It's annoying trying to tap the money as well, because the tapping, not the tapping, the god damn it. Just the collision boxes around what you're trying to tap is actually really annoying. Okay, we're immediately put into the next fight, but that's actually what I wanted to do, so I don't really care, but... Yeah, the tapping trying to get the actual money is really annoying, because it's very easy to miss. But anyway, we're just gonna let the fight play out here, because this is literally a really boring fight. Actually, no, hang on, I'll bring out the debuffer, let him do his work. But if you press triangle, you can see that some enemies are weak to specific things, some enemies are strong to specific things. Physical and magic damage, this guy is very weak to it. He's designed to have the debuffer used on him. And you can do this for every enemy on the field. Unfortunately, it doesn't tell you if they have moves the researcher can use, which is really annoying, because that would actually be a really nice thing. Especially when they're really happy to tell you, like, all the elemental resistances and weaknesses right off the bat. I don't see why he can't tell me the moves that they use. But anyway, you might wonder why I'm sitting around and basically doing nothing, because that's basically how this game works. You have no direct control over your characters or where they're moving to. The only thing you have control over is who they attack. So, I have to attack... If you tap an enemy, that all your people will move to try and attack them. And that's basically all the moves you've got to use. No, I'm not kidding. This is entirely frustrating, because this means the positioning of your guys is entirely up to the computer. And it has this really annoying tendency to put guys where you don't want them to be because they're entirely open to getting hit like 3 people with 1 attack from a boss monster. So it feels like the game is extremely unfair because it's putting CPUs in places, it's putting my units in places where they can get themselves hurt really badly, really easily. And this means that only some tactics are viable, but this means it makes the first boss fucking impossible. And trust me, we are about to see that, because I will go on to the next level after I beat this one, and you can see just how bad this boss is. But all we can really do now is sit and watch this really annoying fight play out, because once you've got a decent composition of units going on, all that's really left to do is just sit there and let it happen. Like, there's no actual strategy to be had on the majority of these fights that I've played so far. Sure, I've only played the first level, and it might be different for later levels, but just at the moment, there's nothing of interest here. Nothing to keep me playing. It's just sit and wait for the health bars to go down. That's basically it. At least for these monster fights. Got a bit more XP on this level, but not much. You basically have to replay this level over and over and over again in order to get a character leveled up. Like, I'd have to play through this level 3 or 4 times to get one character leveled up. Imagine having to do that for the entire party to get through a boss fight. That's just... Oh god, I've had enough of this need to grind for God knows how long on exactly the same levels bullshit that short, cheap games like this seem to feel the need to pull out. At least with RPGs it makes some sort of sense, because your characters actually feel like they can grow in a decent way, and some of the battles can actually be really challenging. You can actively put yourself in bad situations for more XP. In games like this, you literally just have to play the same game over and over again in order to get your levels up. Here comes the boss fight. So, it teaches you how to guard break, but I've seen that tutorial so many times, it's infuriating. Now, I'm going to select this guy on the left here because my guys literally won't survive for long enough if I don't. But here's the drill. So, this guy in the middle, the big worm guy, who actually has a name, Wanderjahr. No, it's this guy here, Elvisan. Elvisan, yes. But anyway, here's how this fight works. The guy in the middle just took all my items with that special move that he just whipped out. Well, he took all but one of my items, I should say. So there's no protecting against his debuffing, right? I can't protect against his de-shielding for more than one or two uses, right? Which is really infuriating. The guy on the left is basically a tank. And the problem with this is that in order to try and take out either one of these guys, you have to be constantly wailing away at them. Because if you're not constantly wailing away at them with one or the other, with at least 2 attackers, the guy in the middle can heal them up instantly. Like, he can take them from a sliver of health. My tank's dead, so this is probably going to end badly. He can take them from a sliver of health to everyone's dead in, not from a sliver of health, to it's fully healed, no questions asked in one go, right? He can do that just without even thinking about it. And it's the most frustrating thing in the world. Because that means you have to put an absolute ton of effort into trying and taking out one of the guys on the left or right. However, if you try to take out the guy in the middle, the positioning of the AI opens you up to being attacked from the right side. So I'm gonna put a buffer here instead, so that the debuffs don't matter anymore. But that means I don't have a second attacker. But if I take out the tank, that means I can't actually get any If I take out the tank, that means I can't get any health for myself. I can't keep these guys distracted so that they don't start attacking everyone else sitting around the map, because the tank doesn't attack, he just stands there and draws their attention. If I take out the attacker, that means I can't do any damage. If I take out the medic, that means I'm eventually going to fall over and die, because you can only carry a limited amount of consumables into this fight, and it takes fucking ages to get anywhere. And if I take, well, that means the only slot I've got left is the debuffer, or the buffer, or the magician. The thief is no fucking use in this fight, so there's no point even trying. But I honestly don't see how the hell I'm supposed to win this fight. Just for demonstration, here's what happens if I make the top guy the target. So the AI girl moves up into the right there. This guy on the right will immediately start popping a skill called Protect Leader, where he gets this huge swing that takes out both the attacker and the tank in one go. I can't possibly defend against that. And micromanaging in this game is infuriating because, again, you can't move your guys by themselves. They can only move when they've got a different target to move to. So, it's infuriating. It's absolutely infuriating. It's a piece of shit. It's absolutely garbage. It's infuriating. Absolutely infuriating. I do not know how I'm supposed to win this fight. This fight is quite literally one of the hardest things imaginable. I goddamn hate it. I absolutely hate it. I've been sitting here for half an hour trying to figure out how the hell I'm supposed to beat these guys. But it's either focus all your efforts on one guy or the other, only to have them get healed up before they die, or focus your efforts on the guy in the middle and die way too fast. I legit don't know what I'm supposed to do. If anyone else can figure out this stupid goddamn fight, I'd be all ears. Maybe they should have just kept this corrupted on the PlayStation Store, because there's... I don't see the point. I honestly don't. I can bring out the debuffer here, but the problem is that these two guys on the left and right have debuffing spells. So when the buffs run out and they start getting debuffed again, I'll just have to bring out the buffer again, and I'll just have to keep swapping them back and forth, and it doesn't actually really help because I need a second attacker out there, but I can't get a second attacker out there because I'll just end up dying. It's just... it's a pile of shit. That's basically all it is. It's a absolutely gigantic waste of time. See, look at that. I can't even get, like... I would have no problem with this fight if I could have all four of my guys over on the left side of the screen. And look, that guy just got healed. So I'm right back to basically where I was at the start of this fight. Infuriating. It's absolutely infuriating. And I legitimately don't know how someone's supposed to win this fight. Because see, my meg's in danger now because she's stuck over there. I could reassign her slot, but that probably won't help matters that much. See, the guard break only lasts for a limited time, so I'd be amazed if I could actually get this done in time, but chances are I won't be able to. Because I got my two attackers, one's at max level and one's one level below max level. And they're both attacking the blue afro gigantic banana? No, banana slug, maybe? But I'm not going to be able to get this done in the amount of time that I've got. Because that guy up the top will eventually pull out the full heal spell. If you want this game done right, more or less, there's a PSP game called Growlands: A Wayfarer of Time. It was published by Atlas a couple of years ago. And it does this whole, like, real-time battle strategy sort of thing, but just much better. Like, that's basically all I got. I've lost my tank, and we're gonna die, basically. I actually did manage to take one of these goddamn bastards out. Well, actually, no, I probably didn't, but... Yeah, I don't get it. Why isn't he pulling out his full heal spell? He's pulled it out every other goddamn time that I've tried to beat these bosses, but he just doesn't seem to want to now. Yeah, screw it. If you want this concept actually done well, as I said before, there's a PSP game called Groundlands: A Wayfarer of Time. It does this whole RPG thing, but much better. You have a lot of interesting characters and plot going on, and the missions are, you get to move around these huge well, not huge battlefields, but like a few streets wide, or this huge battle arena, or something like that, where you can move your characters across the screen, you can get attacks in, you do special attacks that take time to charge up, you have like 6-on-6 at the very least, like battles are, no, is it 6-on-6? It's more like 3-on-3, but there are like anywhere up to 6-on-6 battles at times, and there's things like you have to actually chase someone down before they get off the screen, or it's a game over as part of a story battle or something like that. It's, if I ever get around to doing PSP games on this channel, someone needs to remind me to do a video on that game, because that game is goddamn great, and I should have like got it on my other Vita or something. But yeah, this game, do not buy this game. It's pretty crap, and Sawasadija. Yeah, I don't know what that means either. Like, what is that meant to be? I mean, the first word kind of looks like a, like someone smashing the hand against the keyboard. But the jar means you'd have to go all the way over to the J. So I got nothing. I really don't. Seriously, if you want to play a good game like this, Groundlands: A Wayfarer of Time, that's a real good game. This is shit. Yeah, I got nothing. I got nothing. Feel free to tell me how wrong I am in the comments. That boss battle is so easy. You just need to spend 2 hours grinding on a previous stage to get everyone up to max level, and then have everyone in a very specific slot, despite the fact that it would be entirely easy to actually make it so that you can move your characters wherever you want them, blah, 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 blah. I don't give a shit. This game's crap. This has been Blue Maxima, and I will see you all next time.